Well, hello, Plano kindergarten families. We are so excited to be with you. I wish we were in person right now because we just love meeting our new families and getting to see our parents and our students. But I know we'll be able to do that some point in the future. But thank you for joining us. And thanks if you are here, that means you got the second link. We had a little technical error with our first link, so we had to switch to the second link. So if you are here, then you found the right spot. And it looks like we've got about 15 people here right now, so hopefully that number will increase as we progress through the night. So I want to say first, thanks for joining us. And I have our kindergarten team, our family resource coordinator, our preschool teacher, and our curriculum coordinator here. We're going to do some introductions in just a moment. But first, we want to go through a video that we have prepared that will help, that will talk about what it takes to get a student ready for kindergarten that first day. The most important teacher in your child's life is you. You are with them every step of the way, and you are the most important teacher they're ever going to have. So our job is to help equip you with some skills and some strategies that you can be using as we progress toward the beginning of kindergarten for next year. So this video will go through a few ways you can do that. After the video is over, we're going to come back and be right here, and there is a chat feature on this YouTube chat, and we will be here to answer any questions that you have during or after that we watch the video. And it can be about kindergarten readiness, it can be about what does a kindergarten class look like, or questions about Plano in general. We're here to answer those questions for you tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our video.
Hello, kindergarten families and incoming kindergartners. On behalf of Plano Elementary School and the Plano Kindergarten team, I would like to welcome you to our family. My name is Chad Woodworth, and next year will mark my 9th year as a kindergarten teacher at Plano Elementary. For 2 of those years, I taught a K-1, kindergarten first grade combined class, and my heart definitely belongs with the little ones. Tonight, we are coming together virtually for our kindergarten readiness family meeting. Throughout this presentation, you will meet the other kindergarten teachers as we guide you through what we would like to see for our incoming kindergartners, and we will provide some resources to help you help your child. So let's talk about kindergarten readiness. School readiness in Kentucky means that a child enters school ready to engage in and benefit from early learning experiences that best promote the child's success. When Kentucky first studied the data from kindergarten screeners, it was discovered that only 3 in 10 children were kindergarten ready. By 2018, all Kentucky schools participated in a uniform screening program, and that data revealed that 5 in 10 children were kindergarten ready. That's still just 50%. The Kentucky Governor's Office of Early Childhood Development has divided readiness into 5 important development sections. And those sections are health and physical well-being, social and emotional development, language and communication development, approaches to learning, and general knowledge and mathematics. I feel that it is also important to share with you that the skills and behaviors we are discussing tonight are simply hopes and aspirations for where we would like to see incoming kindergartners, and by no means are they expectations. We realize that not every child will master all of these skills and behaviors prior to beginning kindergarten, and these skills and behaviors are not used to determine school eligibility. Students simply have to meet the age requirements. A student must turn 5 on or before August 1st, and all children in Kentucky must enroll by the age of 6. So our first developmental category is health and physical well-being. So what does this mean your children do? Well, obviously, eat a balanced diet. That's important for all of us, but of course, it's very important for children because it does very much impact their health and their brain function and all kinds of things. It's important that children get plenty of rest. They play hard, and once we begin kindergarten, it is a full day. And in some cases, you'll find that your child will come home very tired for probably several weeks. Not everybody reacts that way, but the point being that it is important that children get plenty of sleep. It is also important that your child receives all required immunizations. Of course, you can visit your doctor or a doctor for those things. It is important that your child receives regular medical, vision, and dental care. And lastly, it is important that children, although it says runs, jumps, and does other activities that children enjoy. Most children enjoy running and jumping and just playing and being children. And that is important that they desire to do that. So what can you do? For your child, you could have a doctor perform a complete physical. You could get for him or her a vision and dental exam. It's important to make sure that all your immunizations are up to date. Promote healthy habits such as food choices. Eat plenty of vegetables and fruits. Eat a well-balanced diet. Again, a good resource is My Plate. Just Google it and it'll give you great resources. It's important your child get good exercise and plenty of sleep. And lastly, it's very, very important, should you have any concerns about your child's development, whether it be physical development, mental development, or social emotional development, ask your pediatrician about your concerns, because I can speak from experience, having 2 sons on the autism spectrum, that it's very important to know if anything needs extra attention. Because the more information that you have, the better you can take care of your child and help your teachers promote learning and reach success for your child. Thank you. I'm going to pass it on to Miss Floyd, and can't wait to see you.
Hello, future kindergarten Plano Panthers. My name is Mrs. Floyd, and I will be walking you through the next part of our presentation that talks a little bit about your child's social and emotional development. Now, we are so excited that your child is coming to kindergarten. A little bit about my background. I taught for 3 years in Michigan as a Young Fives teacher, which helps students prepare for kindergarten. And I have taught kindergarten at Plano the past 3 years. Now, kindergarten is one of my most favorite grades ever to teach. There is so much fun to be had in kindergarten. We do so much sharing and exploring and learning, and that is why I just love this grade. Now, one of the things your child can work on over the summer to be prepared for their kindergarten year is to really practice their social and emotional skills. Now, what does this mean? Well, on the screen, you can see that some of the topics we're going to cover today involve listening, learning to share and play, and following simple rules and routines. Now, at the beginning of the year in kindergarten, we practice following 1- and 2-step directions. For example, push in your chair, walk to the carpet. Now, we practice doing those directions one at a time until we get really good at following those directions, and then we'll move up to 3- and 4-step directions. You can practice having your child follow simple directions and rules over the summer to help them prepare for the structured environment they will have every day in kindergarten. Another task that can be helpful over the summer to work on with your child is just exposing them to play with others, helping them share, and also helping them to do things alone and independently. A great example of this in our classroom is when students come in the morning, we are standing there to help them put backpacks away. And we want to see them, though, do it themselves. And then if they need help, we're right there if they need it. But we just like to take that step back and let them explore and try and do those things themselves, because that is how they learn. So moving on, social and emotional development is so important because it fosters self-confidence, it encourages those great independent skills, and it helps students develop positive social skills so that they can interact with others. Now, a key point of this is that your child should be able to describe how they're feeling and be able to tell an adult how they're feeling. If they're upset, say, I am upset because. That is something once we're in kindergarten, we practice a lot. We do a great curriculum called Second Steps, and we have really integrated this curriculum during our morning meeting time. And during our morning meeting time, it's just an opportunity for us to talk as a class and build up our classroom culture and talk about different feelings we have and emotions. And these different feelings are really important to help your child learn and grow. Because if they're able to say, well, I'm upset because so-and-so didn't play with me, then they can start to develop problem-solving skills and work on those independent skills. Once they can do that, they're fostering self-confidence and they're really learning to grow and develop. So those are some things we work on in the classroom, and you can start that over the summer as well. Now, a big part of being able to describe feelings and talk about their feelings comes from language and communication development. Now, working with your child this summer, you can have your child practice speaking in full sentences. Something I commonly do in the classroom is have students repeat the question. So we practice, if Mrs. Floyd asks a question, I'll say, what did you have for lunch today? We practice students saying it back, I had for lunch, or for lunch I had, and they repeat the question as a full sentence. Those are great ways to help them build those communication skills and just practice engaging in conversation. In the kindergarten classroom, we will be practicing learning home address and telephone number and learning how to write our name. Now, I always get the question each year, does my child need to be able to write their own name before they start kindergarten? Now, the answer is no. If your child does not know how to write their name in kindergarten, that is okay. They do not need to write their name on day one. We will help them get there. But a great thing to practice at home, if your child is struggling with writing their name, try having your child write it in capital letters. And that could be a great way for them to develop that skill. If your child can write their name, that's a great help the first day of school. And in addition, knowing their own name. For example, if your student is going to be a car rider in kindergarten, the car riders are lined up and they will be called by first and last name. So talk to your child about this and practice with them. What is your last name? Do you know your last name? Now, of course, the teachers are always there to help, but those little things go a long way if your child knows those before coming in the door. Now, another great thing that can really help develop language and communication development is just to tell stories using pictures or drawings, and just really practice your child speaking in 5 or 6 word sentences. Develop that communication and that two-way communication between you two, and just practice having conversations daily. Now, the reason language and communication development is so important is because that communication development will just foster your child's learning throughout the year in kindergarten. Now, when we are in the classroom, we really work hard to encourage polite forms of speech. What this means when we are talking to teachers and other adults in the building, students will be practicing saying, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir. We are going to promote good listening skills in kindergarten. That is something you can start to develop at home this summer. by talking about how when someone is speaking to you, make sure you have eyes watching, ears listening, voice quiet, and body calm. That is my little tip that we go over every day when we're in kindergarten. Now, something else that can really help with language and development, you can make sure your child can be understood by strangers. So if you have a friend that comes over to your house and they're speaking with your child and they're conversing and you notice maybe they have a little bit of difficulty understanding your child, then you can always talk to your child's teacher about that and to see if they might need some speech services. Frequent conversations can really help with your child's language development, just having that conversation and being able to expand and revise language when appropriate. So what that means is if your child is speaking and someone asks them, what does that mean? Or what do you mean by that? They can verbalize what they need or what they're talking about to be able to tell you how they're feeling or what they want. These are great things you can practice over the summer to help your child develop language and communication skills and some social emotional skills. Thank you so much for joining me for this part of our PowerPoint. I am looking so forward to seeing your child in kindergarten next year. Have a wonderful summer.
Hello, kindergarten families. My name is Elizabeth Shaffer. This is my 4th year at Plano Elementary teaching kindergarten, and it is such a wonderful place. You guys are really lucky that you are coming into Plano. It's really such a special place for you to start your child's learning career. So we are going to continue our kindergarten readiness video. We are on the slide that says approaches to learning. So what does this mean for your child? This is a time where you will see a lot of transition with your child's maturity. As far as their curiosity, you will see that they're going to start questioning a little more, asking those why questions. Well, why? Well, why? So this is a great time for you to encourage all of your child's learning experiences. So on the next slide, we're going to talk about what you can do at home to help your child. So when they are coming to kindergarten, they will be expected to follow 2 or 3-step directions. 3-step is normally towards the end of the school year, but we like to start off with 2-step directions right away. What a 2-step direction might look like at home would be if you asked your child to take their shoes off and put them in their room. So you would say, Charlie, can you please take your shoes off and go put them in your room? All in one sentence. So then if Charlie is able to take his shoes off, that's following direction 1. And then he goes and puts them in his room. That's following direction 2. So doing things like that can help your child really start learning those complex directions. Also, giving them more responsibility at the house is very important. In kindergarten, they will be expected to clean up centers on their own. They will be able to learn how to cooperate with others as they are cleaning. So if your child is not already putting their own toys away, this is a good time to start doing that. Arranging play dates with your child's peers. I know right now in-person play dates are not feasible, but as soon as our social distancing goes away, I would encourage you to really get that face-to-face peer interaction with your child. Okay, so we are moving on to our general knowledge in mathematics. What does this mean for your child? You can go ahead and read through those basic points, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we expect in kindergarten. When they are coming in, basic knowledge of shapes. What we mean by that is 2-dimensional shapes, such as circle, rectangle, square, triangle, hexagon, all of those shapes. also knowing their basic colors, pink, orange, green, and so on. Counting to 30 would be great. We would really encourage you to start with 10 and to also know what those numerals mean. So getting that one-to-one correspondence. What I mean by that is if you say, can you count 5 grapes? They can put 5 grapes in front of them. So that's something you can work on at home. Okay, so more things that you can do at home, discussing colors, shapes, and quantities. Some fun activities for this would be just throughout the house, talking about what they see. Oh, this picture frame. What does this picture frame look like? What shape? What color is your dinosaur? What color do you think your hair is? And using realistic colors for those descriptions. Positional words are one of the first things that we talk about in kindergarten as well. When you are working on this at home, just using it in normal conversation would really benefit your child, such as, hey, Susie, can you hand me the fork that is beside your plate? Can you put your T-Rex inside of your toy box? All of these things are using positional words where your child will naturally learn what those mean. Also, another great mathematics idea that you can do at home would be to start sorting. Sorting by color, sorting by shape, sorting by what type of item it is. For example, you can sort laundry, you can sort different toys, you can sort outside toys to inside toys. All of these things are great to do to really get your child to start recognizing different groups and similarities and differences. Okay, so literacy. Literacy is very important to have coming into kindergarten. We put in all caps, read frequently. So what I mean by this is obviously your child has not had the skills yet to read independently. So when you are reading with your child, it is very important that you're pointing out things that might be pretty obvious to us as adults, but that children haven't been exposed to. So for example, when you're holding the book, using your pointer finger and having it follow along on the words. So that way they are learning that words are read from left to right and from top to bottom. Also, the way you are holding the book, this would be a great time to start your child holding the book themselves. Also being able to turn the page, one page at a time, and knowing that when we are starting on the book, which is the front of the book, the back of the book, are we holding the book upside down? All of those things are very important to your child for their literacy capabilities. So we also would like for you to start learning uppercase letters and lowercase letters. You can also expose your child to writing using different utensils such as crayons, markers, pencils, pens, all of those great things. Also, we would like for you to start calling attention to beginning of words and the ending of words. So the sound that your child is hearing. So for example, I'm holding a pencil. Can you say that with me? We're holding a pencil. All right, with this slide, Miss Brown is going to take over. It was so nice talking with you guys tonight, and I hope to see all of your smiling faces at Plano soon.
Hello, kindergarten families and future kindergartners. My name is Alex Brown, and I am a kindergarten teacher here at Plano. Next year will be my 4th year teaching, and we are so excited to have your kindergartners in our class very soon. I will start here with my slides. My first one is the transition slide, where I'm going to be going over ways that can help you and your child transition into kindergarten. One thing that you can do to help with a smooth transition is to attend our school orientation that we call Little Panther Prep on July 28th. This is a Thursday, and it's at 6 p.m., and it's both for you and your kindergartner to attend. You will be allowed to meet the kindergarten team and other staff members. You'll be able to see the school if you have not seen the school. It'll allow you to get familiar and especially allow your child to be less nervous for when they come into kindergarten. Another thing that's important is establishing eating and bedtime routines. In the morning, make sure students are having breakfast, and they can either have breakfast at school or they can have it at home. We eat lunch at around 11 o'clock, so it's important that, maybe leading up to the first day of school that you try feeding your child around 11. We also, every kindergarten class has snack at 3 o'clock. So right before dismissal, it's a time to wind down, have their snack. Also becoming involved in the school and the classroom. In kindergarten, we like to have a lot of parties. And of course, we invite our parents in, and we have a Valentine's party. We have winter parties, Halloween parties. And we always welcome parents to come and celebrate with us and celebrate with your child. So we would love to have parents come in and help get involved with our classroom. Also, read all the communication from the school. Our principal is really good about pushing out up-to-date information and communication. Mr. Fraser has a Facebook page, or it's a Plano Facebook page. And then Mr. Fraser has his principal page, and he puts information on there for parents to know. And his Twitter page, he loves tweeting. He puts also information on there for parents to know what's happening at school. And then weekly newsletters. Every kindergarten teacher sends out a weekly newsletter that talks about what we're going to be learning the following week in reading and in writing and in math and any upcoming events or fundraisers that we're having or any dress down days or pajama days. So we will have weekly newsletters. Now on to my next slide. The next steps. So these are the important dates and events to help you prepare for kindergarten. The first one is that Little Panther Prep that I was talking about on my previous slide, which will be held Tuesday, July 28th at 6 o'clock. This typically lasts about an hour and a half, and we ask that you just bring you and your kindergarten child, because your kindergarten child will be going with the special area teachers, and while they're with them, they'll be going outside to see our big playground, and they will go on a bus ride to practice riding the bus. Even if your child is a car rider, they will go on the bus ride because they go as a group together. They will also will serve a snack there for them. And then while the students are with the special area teachers, you parents will be in the classrooms with us, and we will be going over information with you all. And if you all have any questions, we're going to be introducing ourselves to you that day. And it'll allow more time for information where you can focus and your child can go see the school. Another one is our kindergarten screening, which at this time, we do not have a set in stone date for that. But what the screening is it allows you to sign up for an appointment and to bring your child into school. And it's usually about 10 or 15 minutes. It's not very long at all. And it's a verbal and it's a written test. And this allows us to see where your child is at the beginning of kindergarten and a reason why we think it's very important to do it over the summer is so that it doesn't take away time during the beginning of the year, and we already have the preparation and we're able to review them and look and see where we need to start helping your child come the first day of school. Parents will be staying and waiting for their child. We'll just have a staff member take them into a room and we'll do the test with them, and then we'll bring them back. So it's not very long at all, but it's so beneficial to us teachers and helping us with the time commitment that we do it over the summer. So when the date becomes available, we will let you all know. Another important fun thing that we do is we have our little kindergarten camp. And our kindergarten camp is almost like a mini school day. It'll be on Thursday, July 30th from 8:30 in the morning until 11:30 in the afternoon. And during this kindergarten camp, it's just for students. So you will drop your student off, and your student will be divided into their teacher. And then you are going to leave. And this is like a mini school day for the students. It is free. And during this time, we will be going over classroom rules and procedures. We're going to be practicing how to walk in the hallway, how to sit on the carpet. We sit crisscross with our hands in our lap, how we play in centers, and how we clean up. We'll go over where things are in the classroom, like tissue and hand sanitizer, and where we keep the glue and the scissors. And then students are also allowed to bring their backpacks this day, and we will practice, backpacks and going in cubbies and when they first get there. And we are also going to allow you to bring school supplies on this day or at Little Panther Prep, just so it makes it easier that kindergartners don't have heavy backpacks on the first day. And it'll allow you to get the supplies out of your house too, which is always nice. This event is free, and it's a great kind of half first day of school where it's less stressful, it's more relaxed. We'll read a book to them maybe and just kind of get together and meet each other. And then the last thing is our first day of school will be on Wednesday, August 5th. And we are so excited to have your kindergartners in our class and seeing them in the morning. So the last thing is the first day of school will be on Wednesday, August 5th. And we are so excited that you have joined our Panther family, and we can't wait to have you all in our classrooms and to have a fun kindergarten year. And then the next thing is, what questions do you have? I know this has made it very difficult during this time because usually we have an open house and we get to meet you parents, but we are trying the best that we can to get information out there and to still communicate with you all. So if you have any questions, we will be available for a live chat where you can ask your questions and we will answer them. So here are some suggestions in case you do have any questions about what our schedule will look like, the discipline that we have in our classroom, the transportation, maybe if you have questions over the testing procedures or the curriculum, what we teach, the attendance, the meals, the homework, the class size, the rest time, the playground rules or expectations, supplies, or how you can prepare in the summer. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask us, because you have that question and maybe somebody else could have that question too, and you would also help them out. So we look forward to hearing from you, and we can't wait to meet you all soon. Bye-bye.
All right, families, we hope that information was helpful to you, that you have a better understanding of what you need to do to help your student be prepared for our first day at kindergarten. And of course, we talked about, or Ms. Brown mentioned some events that are coming up this summer. And I do just want to remind you that with this pandemic going on, we're still not exactly sure what's going to happen when it comes to the start of school just yet. But we will, of course, be in contact with you and give you communication about the beginning of school as we get closer to that time. And in fact, the school board is meeting as we speak to determine how we're going to end our school year right now. So things are in constant motion, and so we're just being flexible and moving with this best we can. So we're getting ready to do some introductions. While we're talking, if you had any questions that popped up during the presentation, please go ahead and chat them in. I see Brittany Dawson's already put in a question, so thanks for that. We'll get to that in just a moment. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and put those in there. So first, I will ask Miss Brown if she'll introduce herself. Miss Brown, you're muted.
Okay, take two here.
There you go.
I'm Miss Brown. This coming year will be my 4th year teaching. This will be my 2nd year at Plano and my 2nd year teaching kindergarten. I'm a big Western fan. I graduated from Western my undergrad, and I'm about to graduate with my master's here this month, which is exciting. I've previously taught 2nd grade and 1st grade. I have taught in Louisville. Upon graduation, I moved back home and taught 2nd grade there, and then taught 1st grade last year. And then this year, kindergarten, and then next year, I'll teach kindergarten.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Brown. She has been excellent this year. She was actually hired a few days after school started, but she has come in and been a rock star, so we appreciate her. All right, next, it looks like we have a late arrival to our meeting. She was actually in charge of watching the board meeting, so she could let me know what the decision was made. So, Ms. McKinney, you're next on my screen, so if you're able to introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry my screen is not on. I wasn't ready for this meeting, but I wanted to hop on since you were still here and the board meeting is over. I am Alicia McKinney, and I am the Dean of Students at Plano. I am in charge of the discipline of positive and negative at school, the PBIS program that we have for those positive interventions that we have with our students. I'm available anytime that you need me if you have any concerns with safety of your child, social and emotional learning, or just any other question you may have.
Thanks, Ms. McKinney. And I didn't introduce myself earlier, but I'm Ben Fraser. I am principal at Plano Elementary School, and this I'm finishing my 6th year here at the school, 3rd as principal. I was in Ms. McKinney's shoes before I took on this position, but I'm very thankful to be here. And I was a high school band director before I became here, but I found that elementary school is my jam. I love our young kiddos, and they just have all kinds of excitement, and their excitement fuels me. So I'm so happy to be here. Miss Jennings, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Miss Jennings. I'm the preschool teacher here at Plano. This coming up year will be my 7th year teaching, and it will be my 4th year at Plano. If you have any younger kiddos in your family, go ahead and get those registered for preschool, and I look forward to seeing all you future kindergartners.
Thanks, Miss Jennings. Mr. Woodworth, you're up next.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Mr. Woodworth, and I teach kindergarten. Next year will mark my 9th year at Plano Elementary. So I'm kind of like, I guess, the old man on campus. But I absolutely love the little ones. A couple of years, I have also taught a K-1 combined class, which is a wonderful experience as well. I live right here in Plano. I'm part of the community. My children have gone, my older child's gone through Plano, and my younger child will be in 6th grade next year. And I really look forward to meeting your children. Some of you faces I've seen, but looking forward to a new school year next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woodworth. And next we have Ms. Shaffer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Shaffer. I have taught 4 years at Plano, and I have enjoyed every single minute teaching at Plano. You guys are really lucky that you have such a special school to send your kindergartners to. A little bit about me. I went to school at WKU. I graduated in 2015, and I joined the Plano family as a resource aide, and then I also had the privilege of working in the autism unit, and then I was hired on as a kindergarten teacher. So you guys are in great hands at Plano. Nice to see you guys, and thank you for joining today.
Thank you, Ms. Shaffer. Ms. Davenport, you're next.
All right. Hello, future Panthers. We are so excited that you're here with us tonight. My name is Miss Davenport. I am the curriculum coordinator here at Plano. A few of my duties is just to oversee the curriculum that we have for our students to make sure it's aligned to the standards that we currently have in Kentucky. I oversee our gifted program to help have opportunities for our students to grow. Also intervention to make sure we have all students learning the things that they need, filling in gaps that they may have. And one of my most important goals is to support the teachers to make sure that they have everything they need to do the best that they can do. So I'm here if you have questions about curriculum, and we can't wait for the next year to start. And please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Davenport. Ms. Floyd.
Hello, all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight virtually. My name is Michelle Floyd, and this next year will mark my 7th year as a teacher. I am originally from Michigan, so I went to a really small college called Adrian College in Michigan, where I got a Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education and Early Childhood. And I also have a master's degree in teaching with an emphasis in teaching reading. I taught for 3 years in Michigan as an early childhood teacher in a program called Young Fives, and I have taught the last 3 years at Plano as a kindergarten teacher. And I absolutely love this grade, and we are so excited to see your little kindergartners next year.
Thank you, Ms. Floyd. And our newest addition to the team, Miss Allen.
Hey all, my name is Taylor Allen, and I am the new Family Resource Center coordinator here at Plano. I'm here for anything that you need, whether it is school supplies to food to other resources to help you and your family succeed when coming into Plano. So anything that you need, I'll be here available to you.
Thanks, Miss Allen. She has had a whirlwind of 2 weeks. She just joined us after spring break, which was during the pandemic. So she is ready to see students in the building, as we all are. So thanks again, everyone, for those introductions. We'll go ahead and jump into the questions that you have. First, Brittany Dawson asks, what are the school hours and how long is rest time, and do students bring their own mats? Well, I'll let you know our school hours are 8:30 to 3:30. We actually open our doors at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's when our morning arrival time starts. And then at 3:30 is when we begin our dismissal time. We do have a program with community education that has a before school and after school program. That is a program that you would pay tuition for. It's not run by Plano Elementary, it's run by community education. But they will be able to send out more information about that in the coming weeks. And they also have, I think, some financial assistance programs too, if that's needed. As far as rest time and bring their own mats, I'll let one of our kindergarten teachers answer that question.
All right, thank you. Yes, that is a good question, and you may be surprised with the following information. What we do, kindergarten is really quite different than preschool or pre-K. We do have rest time, and it is in our schedule, always put into our schedule, and we call it quiet time. We don't lay down on mats. We usually just sit quietly with the lights off and maybe some peaceful music, even in the first few days. And in the weeks after that, we may transition to sort of maybe yoga, those kinds of things, just to sort of be mindful. Sometimes our students do fall asleep in that time, and we honor that as well. Now, we do that until around fall break, which is usually roughly the first week or so in October. And after that, we no longer have that quiet rest time, and we utilize it for either gross motor, recess, or other things. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Woodworth. The next question comes from one of our family members, Mallory Hart. She asked, will the videos be posted on the principal's page from a couple of years ago that show the letter, land, sounds, motions, writing numbers, other great readiness skills? She said she loved those for the former kinder. So yes, those are all available right now. We have a kindergarten readiness website that has videos of things that you can do with your child to get them prepared for kindergarten. And I will send the link out to that in an email to you either later tonight or tomorrow morning. And that's a great resource that our teachers have put together. Ms. Shaffer, would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, thank you for asking that question. We had so much fun making those videos. The Letterland program is not so much utilized anymore as our recipe for reading. However, the sounds and the motions, a lot of it coordinates together. So you might notice that we don't mention Letterland during the year, but that's a great tool to use this summer. We also have made a great NTI website that I'm sure Mr. Fraser would love to send with you. That's what we're currently doing, and it has some more phonemic awareness videos, read alouds. It also includes math resources, writing resources, science, and social studies. So go ahead and check both those websites out, and if it's not what your child needs, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to point you in a good direction.
Thank you, Ms. Shaffer. And I will be sending out, well, every Friday during the school year, I update the Panther Principal page. And that is my way I communicate with families every week. Typically, you're going to get it in your email, mailbox, and a text at 4 o'clock on a Friday. So that has all the school-wide information provided to you. And I will send a link out to you so that you can go ahead and be checking that. It'll have important announcements, and I will put a link for the kindergarten readiness video. Excuse me. And so be checking that during the summer. During the summer, I update it periodically. It's not every week, but I imagine I probably will have to update it more this summer just because of everything with the COVID-19. Just getting updates on that. So Austin Albany is asking, should we expect homework? I'll let one of our teachers tackle that.
I can take that next question. That's a great question. The statement was, do we expect homework in kindergarten? And Plano's policy on homework is we consider ourselves a no homework school just from the standpoint that we want our students to be spending time with their families, playing. We believe their brains have been working all day. They need that family time. They need that play time. With that said, though, all of us kindergarten teachers, we strongly encourage reading at home with your child, practicing sight word flashcards, letter flashcards. We like to provide a little reading chart that your child can color. But that is really it. We just really encourage that reading at home because we know that that family time is precious.
Thank you, Ms. Floyd. Yeah, K through 6, we are a no homework school, and research shows that homework has at best a minimal effect, but more likely it's going to have a negative effect on student outcomes and students' perception of school. So we limit that, and we have a no homework policy. But reading is important, so we want students to explore reading texts that they're interested in at home so that they develop a love of learning and not a, oh, I have to read mindset. And many of us are parents too, and we know that after the end of a school day, trying to cram in homework can be a big challenge, and especially with kindergartners, there's just going to be a lot of diminishing returns when it comes to trying to keep them sit and focused after school because they put in a long day of work and have worked real hard. So we want to respect their developmental stage too. So if you have any other questions, please throw those in. As of right now, we don't have any more questions, but we're going to hang around here just a little bit longer. I know we've been going for about 49 minutes, so don't hesitate to throw in any more questions. I will say that with the pandemic going on, we're not exactly sure what the beginning of school is going to look like next year. The State Department has released some guidelines or here's some possibilities of what could happen. But to be honest, we don't really know right now. But we're going to communicate that with you as we get closer. And we know that especially if this is your first child that's going into grade school, you are taking a big step by entrusting some adults that you might not have met before to all of a sudden take care of your children. And that's a big step. And so we honor that, and we want to make sure we're putting our best foot forward so that your students are loved, appreciated when they get here, and that you feel comfortable and confident that they're getting their needs met while they're here. Thank you, Brittany. She's asked another question. She says, will there be a chance to sign up for aftercare at orientation, or is that something we should take care of over the summer? Yes, at orientation, typically community education sets up to where you can talk to them directly and get that set up. So yes, we will have that at orientation. And again, assuming that we're going to have a regular orientation. So we will let you know about that. Class size question. So we have our state guidelines for class sizes, and I'm going to pull that up here real quickly. So basically, the state cap for a kindergarten class is 24, and when we say a state cap, that means that they're going to fund you for having 24 students in one kindergarten class. That means we might go over that depending on the enrollment. So what is really important, and I'm glad you asked that question, is that everyone who, for you all, I'm sure you have registered if you're watching this because that's how you knew about this live stream. But we need everyone to register as soon as possible because that allows us to make sure we have enough staffing in place. And if enrollment continues to grow, and if you're living in Plano area, you're seeing lots of dirt being moved, lots of houses that be constructed. So we know we're a growing area, and we want to make sure we have plenty of staff in place and plenty of teachers in place. So thank you for registering early, and I would encourage you, if you know other people who have kindergarten students that are coming to Plano, please ask them to register online immediately because that will put us in the best position to serve your students next year. And as you've walked through it, enrollment just all starts through our district website at warrencountyschools.org. So that's the long answer to that question. But our goal, of course, is to keep class sizes as small as possible. Every kindergarten class does have an assistant in addition to the teacher. So that's another advantage for our kindergarten classes. There is an extra adult in every room. All right, let's see. Next question. Jessica asked, when will we know our child's teacher? Will they get to meet them during your events at the end of July? Yes, at kindergarten orientation is when you will find out who your teacher is. They will get to go into the classroom, see where they're going to be sitting, and you'll get to tour the building. And again, I describe this as if we were in a non-pandemic year, so typically that's what happens. But you will definitely know your student's teacher at that time. And then Chad asked, do kinders go to the gym in the morning like the older students do? Yes, that is correct. In the morning, our doors open at 8 o'clock, and when students arrive, they go to the gym and sit with their class, or they can go to the cafeteria and eat breakfast there. Now, the first week of school, we're going to make sure we have extra bodies, extra adults who are out and guiding all of our kindergarten students to where they should be. Every kindergarten student will be wearing a bright orange vest that you'll receive at orientation. And so whenever we see a bright orange vest, we know, all right, we're going to make sure this student gets to where they need to be. So, and actually the first week of school, instead of going to the gym, students will go directly to their classes. So the good thing about that is during that first week, our teachers will teach those procedures, those morning procedures. So they'll walk them through. Remember, when you come to the building, here's the first place you go in the mornings. So they're comfortable and they know where they belong. So then after that second week, when we start our normal morning routine, they'll be comfortable and they'll know where to go. But we make sure to keep track of our kindergartners, and we always keep an eye out, and especially the beginning of school, have extra help out so that our students make it to where they should be. If you're a bus rider, we have two different entrances. We have a bus loop, which is the front of our school, and we have staff out there that are welcoming students right as they get off the bus and directing them where to go. And if you're a car rider, the car rider loop is in the back of the building, and that is where, and we have a staff member assigned to each unloading station. So you will have a staff member that will open your door and then direct your child where to go. So that's a big deal to make sure that we're staying safe for our arrival and dismissal procedures as well. And our kindergarten jumpstart, our kindergarten camp, we will actually do our car rider routine so that you will know as a parent what that looks like, and then your child will have a chance to experience that before we have all the students in the building and it's just kindergarten students. And again, I say that with the assumption that we're able to do that, with the pandemic considerations. So great question. We're going to let it hang on to any others. We've been going for about 56 minutes now, so we will let a couple more questions or a little more time for questions to go there. As you're thinking some more questions, is there anything else that our kindergarten teachers or anyone would like to share with our parents to let them know what to expect as we come upon the beginning of a new school year?
I would like to say that, I know as a parent that you're always a little nervous, as Mr. Fraser pointed out, handing your children over to some adults that you probably haven't met or certainly don't know. But I love to be able to say that I'm very proud that Plano is very big on social emotional learning for students, and that it's important to us as teachers to help your child in every single way. In the first couple weeks of school, we spend a lot of time just getting to know each other, getting to know the building, getting to know procedures, and really not very much academics. And what that allows for us to do is get your child used to things. And I can assure you, as I'm sure you know, that certainly within a short amount of time, kindergarten students love their kindergarten teachers, and kindergarten teachers love their kindergarten students. And I know that of all these ladies you see before you. Thank you.
Yep, we do spend the first 2 weeks of school focusing on our procedures, so that our school is a well-oiled machine and that things happen smoothly. Once those procedures are in place and their students know their expectations and they abide by those, then learning takes off at that point. So we try not to jump into any academics until we've created a safe environment for our students. And another thing about drop-off and car riders and a dismissal, just know that at the first few weeks of school, first 2 weeks, the car rider line is pretty long because, of course, parents want to drop off their children. And then typically we have a lot of parents who are like, nope, I'm not sitting through that line anymore. My kiddo's riding the bus. So typically, if you're really frustrated with the long line, we make it move as quickly and as efficient as possible. But know that that line does get more efficient because parents understand the system and are more efficient, and typically less parents bring their students to school after the first couple of weeks. So
with also, just to give you a little bit of peace of mind when it comes to dismissal, your child will be, let's say they are a bus rider, they walk out with an adult before the 1st through 6th grade students get on the bus. So they are already in their seats, sitting down before any other student is dismissed. This just helps them become more comfortable, because if they are used to having that preschool bus monitor with them, that does get taken away. However, they get that confidence of knowing to get on the correct bus. We do this to about spring break, and then after spring break is when we allow them to start dismissing with the rest of the school. They do go a little bit earlier where they're waiting, and we are keeping an extra eye on them too. But just to give you a peace of mind, that's how bus dismissal goes. And then as far as car dismissal, they do walk down with our kindergarten aides, and they are already in the cafeteria sitting in their spot before any other older student gets to the cafeteria. So we do make sure that they are settled in before more students arrive to each location.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Shaffer. Well, I'm looking at the clock, and we've been at this over an hour at this point, and I don't see any more questions popping up. So I'm just going to, first off, thank all of our families who are watching. You'll receive another email from me either tonight or tomorrow with links to our web pages that we mentioned. And, of course, during the year, you are welcome to email me any question. We are, of course, trying to social distance and work remotely as much as we can. So typically you're more likely to get a response from me if you email me because I'm not always in the office available to take a call. So please email, and I'll be happy to email you back or call you back and answer any questions you have. And we are so excited to welcome you all to Plano and become part of our Panther family. And I hope you all are staying safe and healthy and have a great summer, and we will be in touch. We'll see you guys.